It's King Eric the Great coming at y'all with another video right quick. Even after I did the Chuck D video, I wanted to speak on this right quick. And this is on the Kodak Black and Hot 97 interview that just transpired today. And this gives us journalists and interviewers a very bad reputation. Anytime when you have an artist, manager, or spokesman tell you that they're not cool with speaking on certain events to transpire, you as the journalist and the interviewer have to respect that. Now I know that we are all in the competition for headlines, for sensationalism and controversy, but we also have to take responsibilities as well. Because if we don't take responsibilities, we have situations that could transpire and it could become beyond our control, especially when it involves serious legal cases. Just like with this situation here with Kodak Black, where he has all these cases going on with sexual assault. And Ebro, he was wrong. What Ebro wanted to do, he wanted to get his sensational headline from this situation. Because Hot 97 and the Breakfast Club, they're basically in competition. For what? For rating supremacy. They're both competing with one another. They're trying to outdo one another to be over the top. And it seems like Ebro, as of late, he's been trying to go over the top. And he's made it also clear that he doesn't really like a lot of the new school rappers. And it shows, because you know when he does interviews with a lot of these young guys, you can feel the disdain that on his face that he doesn't like these little niggas. I can understand, like, probably to a degree because of the way they carry themselves and the lack of total respect that they have for the pioneers of the culture. But at the same time, for 30 minutes to an hour, you got to do your job. You got to show professionalism, because at this point in the game, you can't really bend no ties and break no relationships, because this is a relationship based business. And being that Kodak Black is probably one of the hottest of the South right now, and for the younger generation, that's going to hurt Hot 97 in the wrong one, because now, let's say that his management get another artist. They're not going to want to come up there. They're not going to come up there because of Ebro's reputation. And people want to sit there and say, well, Rosenberg, he did it. Nah, Rosenberg, he's the same way. Let's be clear. He's the same way. He's just very snarky and sneaky with it. But he's the same way, if not worse than Ebro. But the interview itself was very awkward. Totally awkward. And you could tell from the first question in, Ebro wasn't feeling him and Kodak wasn't really feeling his energy. And then they bring it all home at the end where he asked him again about the sexual assault. And it's like they try to get a Me Too moment out of Kodak too. And Kodak peeped the game. Kodak peeped the game. And then Rosenberg tried to ease the tension, ask a stupid question about who landed on the moon. And Kodak peeped the game too. He like, man, that's a stupid ass question. So it was a situation where they tried to Me Too Kodak and possibly get some numbers off of him, because this is a leeching culture. And it's also a case where they're in competition with Charlemagne. They try to get their Birdman moment. So it's those two denominators that play the chord to why this interview turned out the way it did. And it's a big black eye for us people that cover the culture. It makes it harder for us. Because instead of covering the culture, getting people to know the artists and doing our jobs, these guys try to make a spectacle of themselves. It's like the personalities are trying to become superstars, which is why it's hard for new stars to be broken into the game. Because you got the personalities trying to be all in the videos, all on the radio, as Suge Knight would say. And it's making it bad for everybody. So, I'm about to sign out of here. Subscribe to the channel, Off the Cuff Radio. What are your thoughts about this interview? Holla back at me.